Cedarburg Cultural Center would like to welcome Kristin Gjerdset as the August Artist in Residence. Thanks for being here at the Cultural Center this month.
Thank you for having me.
Sure thing. Can you start by telling us a little bit about what media you work in and what the focus of your current work is?
I work in watercolor and pencil and ink. And those are mainly for studies, and my studies are insects, so those have been, along with plants, have been my joy to do. And then I turn them into acrylic paintings, the studies, and so those are on wood and just layers and layers of acrylic paint.
Oh, wonderful. So who or what are your inspirations, and what is it about art that excites you?
Inspiration for me is nature. I find it endless, and specifically I have found insects to be that endless source of inspiration because I'm always finding new creatures every time I go out, every time I hike, and I always sketch them kind of on the side, but I never took it seriously, and now I do. And the more I look, the more I see, and the more it fascinates me, and I just keep doing it.
Oh, wonderful. So what made you want to be an artist in the first place, and why do you do what you do today?
I was always sketching as a kid, so I felt like something that came very naturally for me. It wasn't something like, oh yeah, I'm not sure what to do, I think I'll be an artist. It just always was there, it was always present. And so why I do what I do, in terms of the artwork focusing on insects, is because I like being outdoors, I like hiking, I like walking, and so the two just seem to come together beautifully.
And what kind of career preparation did you have to pursue to do this?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. I mean, first of all, just practicing, continuing to sketch, just on a natural basis. And then just being outside. I was always taken outdoors as a kid, so my grandpa would take us on fishing on the lake and walking in the woods up north. So I think all of that came at an early age, and that's just continued. And then, of course, the formal things of getting a bachelor's degree from Stevens Point, a fine arts degree, and then going out for my master's in fine arts and painting and drawing at UW-Milwaukee. So that's what's the education portion of it to make it formal and real.
And how do you view your role in society today as an artist?
Well, one of the things that I've been doing as an artist is I've been the artist in residence at national parks, and one of the things I realized about that and why it's important for me to do that is because I think of history, and I think of being part of American history and keeping up the tradition that artists before me have done of recording the landscape, and especially in a time when environment is changing so rapidly. I think it's important to really record that and keep that down for the future. And then the other part of that is just being a teacher as well, as not just an artist, but passing along and sharing what I've learned.
So what kind of obstacles have you encountered along the way?
I think the biggest obstacle, well, there's a couple of ways of looking at that, I guess, but myself would be one. And that is because I always enjoyed animals, but I never, I kind of did the landscape, the trees, and I enjoyed that as well, but I always thought, oh, I can't do that as an artist. But I realize now that that's what I've always loved to do, and I feel comfortable with it, and I love it, and so I think just letting go and doing my passion was important. And then there's just physical obstacles in what I do in terms of weather conditions, sometimes being bit by animals, whatever the case may be. So just being outdoors has its own little obstacles, but ones I enjoy too.
Wonderful. So what have been some of your greatest successes?
My greatest successes would definitely be being selected as the artist in residence at national parks. I've been selected at 5, and those have been by far the best experiences, no exaggeration, of my whole life because I get to live as an artist for a couple weeks in a national park, and all I do is walk and hike and study nature and make pictures of it. So that would be the best.
And how do you continue to challenge yourself?
One of the things that I've been doing is I've been interested in recording what insects I see, but now I'm really trying to work more on the design of the images, how to bring them together, how to unite them in a way that's cohesive, that is not just about here's a record, here's a documentation of it, but as an actual fine art image.
Great. So the future. What are your dreams and plans for the future as it relates to your career?
The future would be continue to try and apply for more national park residencies, And I mean, the ultimate goal, hopefully, to be a full-time artist at some point in time. And right now, I'm a teacher as well, so it's a balancing act. But hopefully, you know, down the road, that would be my dream. And probably living next to a national park.
That would be amazing.
It would be fantastic. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for being here this month. It's been really terrific having you.
Thank you very much.